This is a meeting of the Cemetery Commission on Friday, May 16th at 8 a.m. We have a quorum. All attendees are present. Do we have a treasurer's report?
Sure. We currently have $8,689.04.
Oh, that's great. We have a secretary's report.
Okay, so I'll do some correspondence. We have, it looks like another check from Greater Worcester Community Foundation for $2,440. So I'll pass that over to the treasurer.
Oh.
And we also got a correspondence from Lucy Collins of Harrisville, Rhode Island. She asks if we can fill in some potholes in Douglas Center Cemetery on the driveway going to the side road. And she sent us a donation check of $100.
Yep, she does every year.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Lucy.
Do you take all the checks?
We will pass that over.
This one I have to have our receipt for because I keep.
No, that's fine. You can take them all if you want.
Whoever wants to keep them, but
You want me to take them all?
there they
Sure.
are.
Because if you're going in there,
Well, they're not there today.
no, I know.
And I also got an email from Lisa Postma about a couple of cemetery issues, but I don't know if I want to take that now under Secretary's report or if we want to do that under
We'll do it later.
not anticipated 48 hours in advance, because I just
Okay.
got the email a couple days ago. So other than that, the only thing I would want to mention is that on Thursday, they will be doing the flagging of the cemeteries, the veterans flagging.
For Memorial Day.
The Thursday before Memorial Day. They'll do that starting, I believe, at 5:30, meeting at the Common to go around to the various cemeteries. And I also saw that they'll be doing the ceremonies in the cemeteries, I want to say on the 24th, starting at 9 a.m.
Yeah, that
So
sounds about right.
I saw that online. So thank you for doing that to the people that are taking care of the flagging
Yes.
and the ceremonies. So it's nice to have, especially since we don't have the parade anymore. So,
Right.
yeah. And I think that's about it for my report.
Okay.
Okay. New business. Event parking complaints, discussion and possible votes. So yes, I got a call from a gentleman in Connecticut that was up there visiting his wife's grave, and he saw all the cars. Some were parked on grave sites, some were parked on. When I went by, I saw mostly people parked in the driveway. However, I have a feeling that's really parking only for the people in that come to visit the cemetery and the people in it, not public parking for an event.
Well, the event was the Hummingbird Festival.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, everybody was supposed to park in the field,
Yep.
and there
There
happened to
was
be
a
a
soccer
game.
game.
So there was really no place for anybody to go.
Yeah, Lynn from the Common Preservation Society called me after the complaint happened, and she said, you know, they weren't aware that it was their first time doing the event, and they
Yeah, I
weren't aware
know.
that there was a soccer game at the same time. So, you know, we sort of talked a little bit about it and, you know, discussed that in the future when they're planning, they maybe need to coordinate with the soccer club.
Okay.
And also maybe find an alternate parking. I mentioned how Oktoberfest will bus people from the schools to Oktoberfest, and she said that perhaps they could do something similar where they bus people from like
could've
the
parked
highway
behind the
department
old
or
school.
somewhere else, and then, you know, bus them from there to the events
Yes.
on the Common. You know, so she also mentioned they had food trucks parking there, and I was not sure, I didn't feel like that was the greatest place to park a food truck. So
No.
I think in the future, you know, the selectmen gave them permission to park there, and I also kind of asked her how that came about.
Right.
And she said it was before her time, that when, you know, before she was on the Preservation Committee, it was just kind of a standing thing where they told people to park there during events, but it didn't seem clear that there was really ever a permission given from the Cemetery Commission, and I know, we were never asked about event parking there. And where it's still an active cemetery, where there could still be funerals going on, there could still be people visiting, I feel like there's not a lot of parking in Douglas Center, even for people doing cemetery visits. So in the future, I'd almost rather if we don't allow parking in Douglas Center Cemetery for a public event, especially because, we've had people park on burial plots, and, I think the people
he was
are
visibly upset.
Yeah, which is completely understandable. And I think people going to events on the Common, they're maybe not thinking about people that might be grieving or people that might be visiting, and they're not really being aware of, where they should and shouldn't be parking. So it might be better if we
In the past,
don't.
has parking been allowed in the cemetery?
Well, they haven't had as many events
Right.
in the
They have.
past, so, she did say in the past, they were under the impression that they could use that to park, which is why they told the selectmen, I guess, when they went to meet with them, that parking would be there and at the VFW hall. But I think in the future, it would be best if people would park elsewhere, considering that the cemetery is still actively used, and
Yeah.
it's just not, it's not like we have extra parking there,
No, and to get in and out, like I said, there's two gentlemen that go down there every day to visit their families, and both of them were talking, and one of them had to re-clean up some of the mess from the parking on his wife's grave lot. He wasn't
Yeah,
happy
and
about that
that's,
either.
right, and it's almost like, I feel bad for the people whose plots got parked on, and I almost wish we could do something for them to make up for that, that's just, so I think in the future, the best thing is to not allow.
What do you think?
Well, I think this was kind of like a one and done, because if they know when they're doing events, to make sure it's not during a game.
Maybe we could send a letter to the selectmen in the future. Parking is not allowed
Right.
in
But
here.
the other question I have is how would we keep people from parking?
Well, you can't, but you
When-
can put up a sign, parking only
Right.
for cemetery.
When they have
Patrons.
events, do they have a detail cop? Does
Yeah, there
anyone know?
there was a few cops.
Because I was going to say they could redirect perhaps people
Yeah.
that try to park in Douglas
That's
Center
true.
Cemetery that aren't visiting the
It's only one
cemetery.
lane. If you have to get around somebody, you have to drive
No,
all
I
over
know.
the plots and get out.
Right, yeah. And I mean, where it's like there's just a road to park along. There's not really, like
Parking.
a parking area. So I think, it's, there's barely enough parking for
Enough.
when people want to visit and, yeah.
Do you want to write a letter?
I will write a letter, sure. So do you just want me to say we would prefer in the future
Yeah.
that parking not be allowed in Douglas Center Cemetery during events for the common?
Correct. It's not public parking.
Right, parking for cemetery visits only. Okay,
Yes.
I will draft them a letter
Due
and,
to significant
Right.
complaints or something.
yeah,
Yes.
all right. I'm happy to draft a letter and I'll send it to the selectmen.
Do we need to vote on that?
Sure, let's take
All
a
right.
vote.
All right, so anybody in favor of voting to limit this to cemetery patrons only? Aye?
I'll make, you can make the motion, I'll second it, and
Aye.
aye. Okay, we agree. Okay, so everyone is in favor. All right.
Somebody will ask me, was there a vote?
Right.
I did get that.
There was a vote. All right, and then, so we had talked about last time, Lee wasn't present for the last meeting, so we had discussed the recommendations of the Mass Historical for Douglas Center Cemetery, and one of the things they had recommended was that we have a sign identifying the cemetery, which we realized we actually don't have in any
All of
three
them.
of the cemeteries
Yeah.
that we have. So I was going to look into, I know Rhode Island has historical cemetery signs, like with a number just in each of their cemeteries. I did find out that they have their signs made by Rhode Island Department of Transportation, so, I didn't know if Massachusetts does something similar where we could order a sign from Mass DOT, or I also decided I'd look up companies that do cemetery signs. So I did find this Holland Supply Company, and they sent me a PDF of the various
I love it.
styles of signs, and I mean, there
Sarah,
really is
thanks.
all kinds of signs. You're welcome. So they have post-mounted, and I figured because I don't know where we would attach them, we'd most likely want to do a post-mounted style.
I agree.
They had various styles. I kind of asked him for like a rough ballpark, just with the name of each cemetery and the year it was established.
Yeah.
Told him we just kind of want some aluminum signs, black and white signage, and he gave me just a couple of the popular styles and what the cost would be for each sign. He did say that he would recommend getting the posts locally, so I don't know, because those are heavy, so they would be expensive to ship. I don't know if Adam might have an idea on where we would be able to
Yeah,
get
he would get something from
signposts.
somewhere.
So a 10-inch Atlas is $162.37. A 14-inch, an Atlas, I believe, on this is the round ones. So I don't know, I mean, we can look and see what we like, but just to give us an idea, so those round signs are $162.37 for a 10-inch, $246.54 for a 14-inch. An Emperor, which is a square sign, or a long rectangle sign, I should say, is $145.09. So that just gives us some idea, and I don't know, I thought these signs were some of them are actually kind of ornate, and they're nice looking, so I don't know if anyone had a particular style they liked, or if we wanted to think about that. I know we did get that check from Worcester
Yeah.
Community Foundation. We can only use that one for Douglas Center, so the other signs would have to come out of another
On their own.
account, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I like the common. That makes sense to me.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's like just kind of a
Plain.
big one.
I like the colonist,
Now,
the Savannah.
these, I don't know if they come on a post. I don't know
Oh.
if only the center post-mounted ones might. It's like the third page. But yeah, these, we could get one of these and maybe mount it to the wall somewhere, or I'm not really sure where we'd be able to mount it, but the post ones,
And do you want two? Do you want one down on Southeast Main and one on Main?
we could do two. I would at least like to do one at the very least, considering there's none down there now. so.
I get calls about that all the time. What
Right.
cemetery is
Right,
this?
and South Street, it's like the same thing. It was like funny because on the town website, South Street, they wrote South Street Cemetery, but I was thinking, I think that's South Douglas Cemetery. Is that its official name?
Look in the old town book. Do you have one of those old town books?
I think I do, yeah.
Look in there and see what it's called.
Right.
That's what I go by, because that was
Oh,
must be
okay.
the original name.
Yeah, because I looked in the Douglas Reconnaissance Report, and they called it South Douglas Cemetery and they also called it Tasseltop, so I wasn't sure what its official name was, but I figured it wasn't South Street.
Tasseltop is a hill,
Oh, okay.
but it's in that area.
Yeah, so I think it was kind of named after the neighborhood, maybe. So,
I like the Virginian. The Atlas looks like a mirror.
yeah, right, it's kind of round, yeah, so We could go with round or square or
The Pennsylvanian,
Virginian.
Yep.
I like that.
Pennsylvanian
Put
is
a
pretty.
pineapple on top.
Yeah, it's got a fancy thing going on. It's not bad. Or the Grant's kind of got a little fancy,
Oh, yeah, I like that one too.
just a 2-inch pipe,
Yeah.
36 by 14.
We're not a religious,
Yeah, I'd
Sometimes
veer
don't
away
need a
from
cross.
anything religious, but
Too many to choose from.
yeah, right, I know. Be
true.
tough to make a choice, but we can think about that.
yeah, that's the 14 inch. Oh, I see.
Yeah, he just gave me like price
Yeah,
estimates
raw.
for the most popular ones, but I mean, I can ask him specifically if you guys like a particular style.
What do you think, Lee?
Anyone would be better than none, so.
Yep, I agree.
But I like the Pennsylvanian,
I wonder you like Sarah.
and a couple of others that you mentioned.
The
Yeah,
Virginian, I like. The Grant, I like.
right. 36 by 14 or 32 by 14 on the Grant. So that's a decent size.
That's a decent, it's fairly plain.
And the Virginian is 18 by 24.
With a 2-inch pipe. Does it screw on?
That's a good question. I can ask him that.
Because I know
They screw-
Koopmans does, you can buy a 2-inch pipe for whatever length. And they put the screw parts on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can ask him. I like the Grant. I like the Virginian
Grant?
too. Yeah,
Where is
I mean,
it?
it's kind of like a long, kind of,
It's on the 3rd page.
it's a 2-inch pipe,
It's on that.
36 by 14 or 32 by 14. And so I would figure we'll probably
On the same
just
page as
be,
the Atlas, that one.
I can ask him
That
what
one
will,
in the middle.
what will fit
Yeah.
on there as well.
Do you like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Grant.
Yeah, that looks good.
All right, I'll ask him, a quote on the Grant. Now, do we want to do all 3 cemeteries in the same style
I think
sign?
that would be
I think
nice.
that would
Yeah.
be uniform,
Yeah.
yeah, to keep it uniform. Okay, so I'll ask about the Grant, and I'll just ask him for a price on that, and I'm assuming we can fit the title of the cemetery and the year it was established.
Yeah.
Like EST and then whatever year.
Yeah,
I
if
did
not,
have.
to go to a larger one.
Oh, okay. I could also ask him about the Pennsylvanian or the Virginian, if, we want
Price-wise.
a larger one to fit more stuff. So we'll ask about Pennsylvanian, Virginian, and the Grant. Okay, so I'll ask him about, quotes on those 3 and how much information we can fit on them.
Yeah.
The title of the cemetery and the year of establishment.
Yeah.
I
That's
always
good.
wanted one of those, the wrought iron one that
Oh, yeah,
Over
those
the
are
gate.
awesome, yeah.
says Center Cemetery.
Oh, yeah, like the spider
South,
gate.
South
Yeah.
Sutton has that. They have their name above it. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
love those too.
You
Yeah,
have to have a good benefactor for those.
right, right.
Well, we have a good benefactor. And then who will open and close the gates all day,
Right, right.
right?
That's true. Yeah, so we'll find out, and I'll find out from Adam about the posts,
Yep.
and I'll find out how they attach.
Okay.
I will ask those questions. I neglected to put reorganization on our agenda. We're supposed to do that after an election, but since I didn't put it on there, we'll do that next time.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's just like, a formality, so I'll
I was
put,
gonna say we could just keep everything the same.
right,
Vote on it and say, yeah, that's fine.
right. I agree. I think we'll probably do that, but I'll put a reorganization on our next agenda, just so it's officially noted Let's see, is there anything, so we did
Christine
signage.
Bernal wrote that. It's a deal, yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah, so I
Did you
do,
ever find the spigot?
Yes, I know which one it is.
Oh, okay, good.
And I can speak to the water department if you want.
oh, okay, well,
Okay.
we'll take that when we, I think, are we at that point yet? I can't
close.
remember where I was gonna, yeah, we're close. We'll just
right.
move down the list, right? Okay, so
Request
we.
bids for mowing and trimming.
Yeah, so we had talked about that last season, and we decided to put it off for another year. So since another year has gone by, I just wanted to bring it up again if we wanted to put it out for a proposal. So I wrote up a draft. That's just a draft of what we would be doing for our request for a proposal. I based it basically off of the previous bid packet that we had, right? And I added a couple of things specific to
Oh, that's great.
like how we want to keep the grass a little longer in certain areas. We might not want to mow over the top of the tomb since we're having erosion issues. And, you know, I know last time we talked about it, we were concerned that the rates would go up, but, I mean, if we do get bids, there's nothing to say that our current contractor can't put in a bid as well, and, you know, we can just see what we get. And that way, we'll have something in writing, and hopefully we can get ourselves a good deal.
Well, wasn't there,
A little competitive bidding never hurts, so.
didn't they say that if we spend less than X amount of dollars, we don't have to
Right,
put it out for bid?
right. The town administrator
Correct.
said if it's under $10,000, we
Correct.
don't have to put it out to
And we-
bid.
We can't afford more than $10,000.
Yeah, and we sometimes go over our budget and we have to
We
go
have to
back to
get- yeah.
town meetings,
In
so,
this weather, we might.
yeah, so, I mean, I don't think it hurts to put it out there and see what we get for bids and, you know,
Okay.
No.
because,
The other thought I had, well, this has nothing to do with mowing, but, well, kind of it does. Whoever does it has landscaping. I took a look with some of the people that had graves down around in the back. Those hedges, those picky hedges, are starting to encroach on people's plots.
oh. So we-
That whole border in the back that was planted
It's
years
center?
ago, yeah. If you look down behind there, there's a whole row of picky.
Hello.
You wondered who was talking in here. Picky bushes,
So
rugosa they call it.
we may need someone
And
to remove.
it's growing up. Unfortunately, it's also covered in vines and poison ivy. It's just moving. And I was wondering if we could look for a landscaper to push it over.
That sounds like a good idea. We should probably see if we can get some
Because
quotes
once
on
that
that.
gets entangled in things, it's very hard to get
That I
out.
don't think we'd have to put out to bid because it probably won't cost that much, but, you know, and we do have funds for Douglas Center, so we could even use,
What company took down
The trees.
the bushes that were,
that was Fopama
Fopamas.
tree.
The
They,
what?
Fopama tree.
okay.
I think they only do trees, though. I don't know
think
if
they
they
only
do
do trees.
landscaping, so I can look around for a landscaper.
You could try Rotus. I've
Yeah.
seen them go around.
Sure, I know they did the library, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I can give him a call and see if he can give us a quote on cleaning up the
The picky
ba-
bushes,
the-
the rugosa.
rugosa. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget rugosa.
I know,
And it's
the
in
company
the,
up
what
in Douglas,
size?
is it something tree? It was owned, I don't remember the name of it. They put them in there.
Oh, okay.
They
So
were
we-
actually
So we
planted
did that to
there.
ourselves, okay.
Yes, it was actually an ornamental, unfortunately, it makes such a barrier, because the plan was to put it up there so that the deer wouldn't come through.
Yeah, oh, I see.
So
I see.
unfortunately, once the vines get in there, you can't get them out again. So
Yeah.
then you have this big
So then we have to remove them.
entanglement of
Okay.
Right.
And now,
A mess.
which side of the cemetery is that on? It's
The
in
left.
The left?
yeah,
Okay.
where all the new ones are. It's all
Left
behind
of
there.
Douglas Center.
If somebody graded it and made it nice, you could make room for more plots
We
also.
would like it removed, and do we want it graded or a quote for maybe both?
Yeah.
Removing and grading, okay. All
I
right,
mean, I don't
I'll
want
give,
anybody in the swamp, but
yeah, I'll give Rotus a call about that and see if they can give us a quote.
yeah.
Anything, let's see, what's next on my list? Where be
You
my
have a good list.
Yeah.
I put a lot of stuff on there, but
Sadie Grace.
oh. Do you
I'm
want
not out yet. Hello? No. So just come home. I'll find another way home. Yep. Thank you. My husband ended up in the hospital yesterday with vertigo.
Oh,
He was gonna pick me up from Harborough because I'm gonna drop off my car. 'cause
Oh,
I broke
gee.
the handle off my car door.
oh no. Oh, my goodness.
And Kitty Grace is working. She has to go to
Oh.
daycare.
Oh, no. Oh, my
bad
goodness.
for
Oh,
What happens? Oh, my sister.
oh.
All right. So I think we addressed the center cemetery issue.
Oh, okay, so we'll just bring that up
The
because we
spigot
kind
has
of
not
brought it
been
up.
functioning for
So,
18 months.
Yeah, so we
He
had
said he
a,
has it marked. Adam said you only need to vote on it and get the water department to fix it.
so we'll need to vote to have the water department fix the broken spigot.
All right.
Which Lee identified that he knows which one it is. So do we want to just take
Yes.
an official vote on that? So I
Yes.
move to
Repair?
repair the broken spigot in Douglas Center Cemetery.
I second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we vote for that. And there was one other issue in there she brought up. Someone had asked about if we could plow Douglas Center Cemetery in the winter.
Somebody plows it.
Oh, okay, because, yeah, I think she said in her email, Adam does it when the ground is frozen.
Frozen, but
he
you can't do it when it's not frozen
Mm-hmm.
because it'll dig up the
It
ground.
will dig up the ground. Yep, he's absolutely right.
So,
I think there's also another guy that visits his wife's grave down there, that if Adam doesn't do it, like on the weekends or something, he has somebody come in and do it also.
okay.
So, but I mean, that was a few years ago, so I don't know if he's still,
Right.
but I see the car down there, so. All right.
Let's see. Oh, the updating with the website with the photos. So we had discussed that a while ago at one of our meetings.
Is that on here too?
Yep,
They missed something?
it's right after mowing contract on the agenda.
Oh,
Yeah. So we were going to update it with photos. I had a photographer I'd contacted who takes cemetery pictures, and he gave me permission to use some of his, so we talked about it, and we just never updated it, so I'm going to go back and find our rules. I remember we did write them. We changed the ones about no lights and
Right, right.
that kind of stuff. We also added a couple of things, I think. I know we were going to say no poisons, because there was someone, remember, putting out,
some old lady.
right, so we're going to put that. So I'll find that list of rules and regs, and we'll just get it updated on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that would be good. And we'll keep that on there. I'll follow up with that at the next meeting. And we did the Leckberg plot shrub removal and the brush cleanup in Pine Grove and the removal of the plum trees, so that's
All done.
all done and
All done.
taken care of, so we can check that off our list.
We discussed Greater Worcester.
We did discuss Greater Worcester. We did get the check, so that's good. Now, did we get another check in the fall? Had one come? Because I know they were going to send one,
I
like,
believe we-
end of September. We
Yeah.
got that one as well?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So that's great. We've got some Douglas Center funds coming in. Any updates on sheds?
No,
I keep forgetting that. The problem is how are we going to pay?
Right,
We could get one for center with the
right.
with the Worcester
Do we have-
funds.
Yeah,
We could.
yeah, and I think Douglas Center would probably be the best place to keep it.
Yes.
I think so too.
I know we had talked about whether we could put it on the pad where that screen house currently
Yeah.
is, and I don't know, maybe someone could reach out to Adam about whether
I can
that's
reach out to him.
whether that's a possibility. All right. Any other old business? So
Boy, we covered a lot.
we did.
Cleaning of headstones, are we getting volunteers again this summer?
You know, I haven't heard from Blackstone Valley Heritage Corridor. I know they do have a different coordinator now, because I did get an email from them introducing themselves, so I can reach out to her if you want and see if they're still going to do the same program, if they'd be interested in
Right.
having volunteers.
In the meantime,
I'm always happy to organize volunteers if they're not going to. So,
if and when I get spare time,
Yeah.
I'll do like one here and there.
sounds good. And we can still have, we can put Lou Monty on the agenda too, if you, if he ever has a chance to come down. I know we had talked about having him look at Pine Grove or South Street for other things that,
Yeah, I was going to bring that
because we
up.
wanted to kind of do a little bit in each cemetery instead of.
The worst ones. What are the
Right,
worst ones?
right, yeah. So we can always put him back on the agenda if he's available.
Okay.
And then I have meeting minutes of September 27th and November 6th.
Do all of those need to be approved?
Those two need to be approved, yes.
Okay.
If possible, if you guys want to read through them, make sure I didn't miss anything.
Because I can remember that far back.
Right, I know. I watched the video to refresh my memory before I did my minutes. It's been a while, so.
Yeah, Jane Dudley told me they did a nice job.
Oh, good, good.
So, yeah. Did we ever resolve the issue in the corner of this?
I don't know if anyone ever just took those pieces. I'll go back and check, because I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because they had left slices, and I know a couple of people had said, oh, well, maybe I'll grab them, so I'm not sure if anyone ever
Ever
did
did.
take that.
What's that?
So in the back of Pine Grove, when they cut down the trees
Oh,
for
yeah,
that
yeah.
solar company, they had left just some slices of tree stump and, hadn't looked super neat.
Right.
So I'm not sure if they ever removed that. So I'll take a look at it, and if it still looks messy, I'll ask Adam if they
Could take it.
could take it. Maybe they can put it in a brush pile somewhere. So, I don't know. I know some people were like, oh, I could grab that, but I don't know if anyone ever
I
did.
know I asked my husband to do that too.
Yeah, right. I was like hoping someone would want the wood. But yeah, I'll take a look at that. Yeah, anyway, I forgot to say, did we, on the mowing contract, I had left X's where I didn't know, if we wanted to specifically ask for a particular number of mowings a year, or if we just
Oh,
want to say
yeah.
not more than, or less than during the spring and summer months. I thought that might be a better way to kind of control, what's.
How much mowing?
Right, how much mowing is happening. to say not more than or not less than a certain amount.
It's hard to say that because some years are dry and
Right.
some years are
Yeah.
wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or how many times during the year. And I did put with special attention to it being freshly mowed just before Memorial Day, because I know in the
People look at it.
past, right, in the
I
past.
believe they
people-
just did it.
I saw 'em
Yeah,
there,
they did, yep. I saw Pine Grove was done recently. so. But I don't know if you guys are happy with this draft, if we want to work on it some more, or if we want to put it
Take a
out.
look at it.
Okay.
Like over the week.
I'll put it on the agenda for next time to take a second look at it, if you guys have any feedback, or if we want to think about, if we want to include like how many times a year. So, yeah, so keep that and let me know. We'll keep that on the agenda. All right. Any
Hey,
thoughts
glad
on
you
the
won,
minutes?
Lise.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the minutes for September
No, I
27th?
accept the minutes as written.
Okay, second?
Make a motion.
Or-
Oh, is that the motion? I second.
Okay.
To
Made
accept.
by Lee, seconded by Betsy. Seconded by Lee, made by Betsy, so we'll approve those. All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye.
gosh, Larry, do a lot of work for this company. So I didn't even get paid for it.
All right, topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance.
Did we do both meetings?
Yes.
I
Okay.
think we just did them both at once,
Okay.
yeah. So I'll turn those into the clerk's office. We did discuss the cemetery issues, so that was my only topics for 48 hours in advance.
Yes.
That's all set. Does anyone else have anything they had not anticipated?
Well, no, I mean, we already discussed the repairing the stones again and cleaning of the stones, so that's what I was going to bring up.
All
Yep.
right,
Nope, I think we're good.
okay.
And the picky bushes.
Yeah,
Oh,
picky bushes, so
we did discuss in the past trying to get donation of a couple of trees, but are we anywhere with that? Or no?
I don't know if did we have anyone in particular we were going to ask, or maybe we can?
Well, there was a guy that called me and he said he had some trees on his property and he wondered if we wanted them.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know what happened after that. I said yes, and yeah, I'll remember who he is.
And then we'd have to decide where we would put them.
Right. I know we had
Yes.
held off last year because of the drought, so
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a drought.
hopefully this year with all this rain we've had, it'll be a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have to look at the plot layout too. to
Right, yeah.
Make sure none of
Sure.
those plots have been sold.
And if we don't have like a donor for the trees, maybe we could always do something like plant a tree in memory of someone for a donation or
Yeah.
something, if someone wants to maybe do that. You could
do
buy a
that.
tree at a nursery and dedicate it to somebody. If I know I've seen, memorial trees other places. So if we
Yeah,
wanted a couple of small trees, maybe. I think last year we had talked about doing, some small native trees.
Yes.
Like oaks or maples or something.
Yeah, I think you wanted maples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. And we'll have to, maybe someone can take a walk around and decide where we want to put them.
Yes, I'll bring you the plot layout so you
All right,
so you can decide.
that sounds good.
I think there's a little grassy strip that doesn't have any plots on it.
Oh, sounds perfect.
Yeah.
All right. I'll look into tree donations, and if you can remember, who the gentleman was that offered his trees. That
Brian
would be
Reed. I
another.
think his name is Brian Reed. I wonder if the Bazinskis might too. was a couple of people I was thinking of, because he was, who's the tree warden? John Vernal's the tree warden.
He was.
Yeah, I
Is
think
he
it's
still?
Adam
I
now.
think it might be.
Yeah.
It's either John or Adam, so.
I wonder if he didn't know any local trees that need to be dug up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Possibility.
There's a lot of trees out there.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean, I'm gonna get some in my own yard, I could probably dig out.
right.
Nobody wants a picky old hemlock, though. Oh, well.
All right.
We all set?
I think we are, so motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All those in favor?